Welcome. You are listening to the Holistic Travel Nurse Podcast. This is Naomi, your host. Stay tuned. Episode, I am going to talk about coffee enemas. I have a webinar on YouTube if you've not checked it out, but I think it's something to talk about because it's important. Everyone talks about we live in such a toxic world. We are exposed to so many heavy metals, so many incredible toxins, and our livers are overburdened. And so your liver has to break down these toxins. Your liver does so much, and you want a very great functioning liver. And so coffee in an enema is helpful for the liver. It's not about a bowel movement. It's not about your colon. It's not a colonic where you go and clean out your whole huge colon and try to do it. It's not about that at all. There's a couple books I read about and a lot I talked about in my webinar on my YouTube channel. So I will put the link below so you can explore that more. I also, when I got into them, when I first did some, and I was probably getting enough nutrients in, but my body dumped so many toxins, it made me sick. And so there's like 3 phases to the liver. It's going to help get your body into the phase 3 and just dump toxins. And that's what you want your liver to is doing anyways. It just speeds up the process. So the couple books I've got, and the one that I have right in front of me right this second, is the Little Coffee Enema. So if you exploring a coffee enema to get your liver functioning better, to deal with chronic pain, to helping with migraines, to getting your liver functioning better, or before you get on some, before you get on switching to a better lifestyle of eating, let's just paleo, keto, one of those things, do a cleanse, get your liver functioning better. So the little book on coffee enema. So this is the gurus in therapy, but they target him as actually the one who brought it up. That's because he did it in his clinic, but it was actually nurses in the 1800s used this dark coffee because doctors would order enemas like on all their surgical patients in the world. These are like post World War I think it was. And so the nurses decided, hey, this coffee just sits there, let's try to do it. And actually it helped with those people with pain, which was really fabulous because they didn't have a lot of pain medicine at that time. So, this is it. This is exactly the history I'm reading. It says, during World War I, the Germans blockaded towards the country. Surgeons had very little difficult time towards the injured shoulders. They always had, coffee in hand because the surgeons were working nonstop, right? And so, see, everybody leaves this out. Everybody leaves this out when they talk about coffee enemas. It was the nurse's experience, the German professors, that decided to add the caffeine in the rectum in animals. They found that the caffeine entered the liver through the portal system and caused an increase in bile flow. Well, what does that mean, Naomi? What does an increase in bile flow mean? You just dump toxins and get your liver into phase 3. But I wouldn't be doing this. Let me just step back. I wouldn't be doing any coffee enemas or some things if you're not getting enough nutrients. If you're not on a good supplements, your liver's not even functioning that well. You're malnourished. If you're not on a whole food supplement, you're malnourished because you need a whole bunch of nutrients for your liver to function better. That's why the gurus in therapy, they're not on just supplements and juicing before they even thought about the coffee enemas. He also says in the beginning of the book, which is cool. So if you're on chemotherapy, it tells you to go to a page. If you have colitis, don't do coffee enemas. Start with chamomile tea. If you have diarrhea, obviously don't do any enemas. Period. Are you doing any modified therapies? It gets you. So if you buy a kit that, like a kit I got, hopefully you'll get this book. And I really like that you're going to hear that it was nurses that said, hey, let's do this coffee. So it's different than when you drink coffee, and that has to go through a secondary bypass in the liver to just break down that caffeine. And I was super sensitive personally to caffeine for a long time, and I was super scared about doing these. So if you're like me and you want to try these, then you want to start slow, and you have to have definitely organic coffee, and you want a light roast because you want that palmomic acid. They do a whole bunch of things for you. So a light roast, and then very, very good water with when you're doing it, and you boil it in a pot. So you want to give it to boil for like 10 minutes. And you want a good, you find them mostly, again, on Amazon. There's a couple brands. You kind of play around with yourself and finding the right brand. Just make sure it's organic coffee and you're getting good water when you're doing them. There was lots of patients, and one of the other books I read, not in this one, what happened is gotta hit pause. Sorry, dogs. I was gonna hit pause. Dogs in the background. Sorry, but that the tumors were breaking down in people, and their livers weren't able to break down. Deal with all those toxins from the liver, from the tumors breaking down, and they're taking care of it naturally. That it was almost killing them. Your liver's not functioning the right way. It will kill you. Liver failure I see all the time. We've seen it all the time, from accidental overdoses to viruses, and obviously drinking too much alcohol are all hard things on your liver. Tons of medications are hard on your liver. You want a great functioning liver to be feeling better. As for the bile, not all bile goes through the intestinal system. However, on occasion, some of the bile backs up into your stomach. So this is in the book, where it comes to rest, causing some irritation. This especially happens during the healing reaction of a flare-up. When you have a lack of appetite, nausea, sometimes vomiting can be experienced. Should this happen, peppermint essential oil, a couple peppermint beadlets is what I would suggest, would help. The coffee enemas are not given for the bowels. Remember, they're given to improve the liver of removing toxins. And there is a lot about this with the whole thing in my webinar on my YouTube channel. Again, it's linked below. And I can tell you from first-hand experience, I don't do them, and I wouldn't do them every single day if you have issues. If you have constipation issues, you might want to do some water. You do the coffee enema after you've already actually gone to the bathroom, right? And then you hold them for 10 to 12 minutes. And I don't do a huge amount of fluid, like maybe 2 cups you start with, and then maybe you work up to 3 or 4 cups. You don't need a lot of fluid. It's more or less the caffeine and the palmitic acid that will cross over and hit through the hepatic portal vein up the liver and cause, and I would feel it, honestly, my first few times, felt it on my right side where your liver sits. It just felt like, I don't know, like my liver was just dumping, or it was just weird. No pain. I would do them in the morning, definitely not in the afternoon, because you do get a little energy burst with the caffeine, and caffeine will take about 12 hours to be in your bloodstream. So you think about that if you're using them. And I've done them for migraines I've had, and they're effective, very effective for a migraine. So hopefully that someone is, a migraine sufferer, that might be something you want to look into. Again, you can get this little book, will come with a kit, and you can purchase a kit on Amazon, anywhere you get it. And again, if I wouldn't be doing it if you don't, and one, you're not working on your nutrients, and then yes, I've had stomach cramping with it, and that's where I love my Digest Sen oil. I can rub it on my belly. You can also add a little pink Himalayan salt to the water so that you're not feel like you're not losing those minerals. And check your doctor's probably not your primary doctor, unless they're a functional medicine doctor, will not know about this. So this is why you're only going to hear on this channel over and over and over again. See a functional medicine practitioner, see a naturopath. That's the only thing I'd recommend, or a holistic doctor of some sort. I hope this is helpful for you, and that you subscribe, you check out more on my channel, and check out that webinar I did on that. And tell me if you've done a caffeine enema, and tell me what it's done for you. Message me at holistictravelnurse@gmail.com. Have a fabulous day.